Okay, so I started designing another bumper for the back of the van, and I just really didn't like the, truck bumper original that's on there. And I'm looking to improve departure angle. So I've got my bumper mocked up. This end shape and everything may change, but I just like this overall height. The problem is our quarter panel hangs down quite a bit. So we are going to do a cut and fold on the bottom part of this quarter panel. I have just a little pencil mark drawn. We're going to shoot for about that much. And I really don't care if we're a little bit farther down the front and it has a bit of an angle to it. So the back is really where we want to get maybe a little bit more out of this. So on the inside, we have our mud flap. We are just going to take our 4-inch cutoff wheel and cut at the bottom of that mud flap as far out, and we're going to cut just below this pinch weld so that the end of that panel still has an attachment point. So we're going to cut just below that and cut through that whole piece here. We'll probably have to use the Sawzall for the last little bit, but we're going to leave the outer quarter panel skin. We only want to remove this inner structure for right now. So let me do that and I'll show you what we got. Okay, we cut this corner piece out, which fit right in there. I had one spot weld down here on this corner. I just cut on this side of that and took a little corner piece out. That was just faster and easier than trying to take a spot weld out. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go from where we cut here, and we're going to go straight back, basically just on the outside edge of those holes. We're just going to take that much material off the bottom so that when we fold it up, we don't have, it's not way in here somewhere. So we're going to do that next, and for that I'm just using a pair of 45-degree body snips. I would love to use these for everything because it's a smooth, controlled cut, and you'll see just how nice it can turn out here when we cut the back corner in a little bit. Okay, so we got a strip trimmed off from underneath. That was along the bottom edge of this quarter panel, and you can see it's a pretty nice clean cut. Okay, so we have our piece we've trimmed off of the bottom of our quarter panel. We've trimmed back to the corner. Now we're going to take our snips and we're going to cut right on that corner up to our pencil mark of where we want to be at. And the trick to using snips, if you're not familiar with them, is you don't want to cut the whole way to the tip and then move forward. You want to cut, and before it gets to that tip, move it back in the jaws farther and repeat that. So you're really only using, half or 3/4 of the snip blade, because if you go to the tip, that's when you get, you know, real jagged cuts. That's when the metal will get wavy on you. But see, look at how smooth. You know, obviously you have metal edge exposed, but the paint's not chipped off, and it's a nice, smooth, clean cut. So next, okay, so you may have to pull out on the back a little bit to make sure that the metal passes by each other, but we're just going to jack up on that piece and watch it fold up. Now, got a little bit of a point here. We're touching the thing, so you'll see how much it springs back off of that splash shield. You know, it sprung back a lot. I mean, you can take your hand and push it back up. You know, my plan is to take like white bed liner, something that'll match the van. I don't want black, but I think white bed liner, and just come up to like where I have that pencil mark at and go back that whole bottom edge. So I could you know, push that up with the jack and hold it up to there. You know, obviously clean the paint off of this, and you could weld that, and that would help keep it up. For right now, I'm gonna leave it loose because I want to be able to get this thing backed out of the garage. I want to be able to look at it from a distance and think about it for a few days and see if I really like it. But so far, back here in this corner, you can see we've already gained that much from where it was. And we're already a good inch or so higher. So I'm going to jack this again. I'm going to move the jack back though and favor the back a little bit more. If I can get that to go at a little bit of an angle, would be fine. So let's try that and see what happens. That gives, you know, depending on how much you go, you can gain 1.5 inches, 2 inches of ground clearance. Right here, you know, I've gained on this side, I think it was like 1 3/8 to 1.5 inches in the back, and it's putting the bottom of that quarter panel is now just about in line with that leaf spring. You know, you can see some of the shackle from the side now. So we've definitely gained. And then I think once the bumper is 2 inches shorter and 3 inches, you know, we reduce the depth of it by 3 inches, we're going to definitely improve. So here we are standing back from this, and I'm really liking how that looks. I like that it has a little bit of a taper to it. The bottom of the quarter now pretty much lines up with the height of the leaf spring, and it's pretty subtle. If you don't know your Astros, I don't think you'd ever notice it, since we kept that nice rounded edge on the bottom. You know, it has a little bit of a belly to it. It keeps the factory look. It's plenty strong. And the rear bumper cover, I already cut 1 inch off of this bumper cover where it lined up with the original cladding that I took off. So, I mean, we've gained quite a bit. By the time we get a new bumper made up to to match where we're at here. Definite improvement in departure angle, and I think it's going to be a drastic improvement in looks. I just do not like a full-size looking bumper on a mid-size van. So let me know if you guys would be willing to do that mod. It's really the only way to make a bumper that's going to look right. If we stay at factory height bumper, it's just going to be weird looking. So cutting the quarter is kind of a necessity. I mean, if you have a really nice van, it's probably not something you're going to want to do, maybe. But if you're looking to improve ground clearance off-road, it's a pretty nice way to do it without adding lift, keeping the low center of gravity. Also, you'll note that I don't have exhaust pipe hanging out the back. Exhaust stops ahead of the axle for ground clearance issues. So really, if you don't have the capability of, I mean, you could change your exhaust and run it up higher, but without changing your exhaust, you're not going to get as much gain, and it's going to look weird with even a bigger gap between your tailpipe and the bottom of the quarter panel. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Let me know what you guys think.